Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brendan Plays. This is Total Extreme Wrestling for our All Elite Wrestling save. Today it is the big one, AEW Revolution, a pay-per-view that we've been building towards for a long time. I'm very excited to bring you guys this one, and let's have a quick little recap of what you guys can expect to see on the show. So, championship-wise, Miro will defend his TNT title against Park and Lance Archer. Britt Baker will take on Thunder Rosa for the Women's Championship. The world title's on the line, Moxley versus Darby Allin. And what will actually be our main event? We're going to see Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, the Inner Circle, defend against the Young Bucks. Looking forward to seeing that one. I think that could be Match of the Year candidate. But not only that, we've got some other big matches on the card as well. This is going to be our best show, I think, so far. We got FTR and the Hardys. That's going to be great. Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes. Now, this is a match that I very much so nearly put as the main event because I really believe this could be 80+ rated. It could be the best match I've had in the series, but no title on the line. I felt as though I couldn't really put it as the main event, but it is certainly something that I hope will deliver well. And look, MJF and Sting. The build is 86 heat. This has been a fantastic storyline. It's been going on for months now. I've enjoyed it. Now it's time to actually see it in the ring. It all started back when MJF was feuded with Jon Moxley, and MJF won the world title. Kind of, you know, cheated his way to victory a little bit, and kind of did whatever it took. Eventually, Sting came into it, and Sting made MJF defend his championship inside a cage. Sting was the replacement referee in that match and actually counted the 1, 2, 3 to have MJF lose that championship. And ever since then, Sting has refused to give MJF a championship match, and now we are here, ready to see Sting's debut in the series. I really don't know how he's going to go in the ring. His stats are great by all means. I just hope his popularity will be enough to carry him through to, I'm hoping 60, 65, maybe 70 rated performance. That'd be fantastic if we can get there. So it's going to be a spectacle. It will be a spectacle. I don't know what to expect from that. But nonetheless, the show is all booked. We will also go ahead and get straight into it. Alright, to kick off the pre-show, the Acclaim took on the Varsity Blondes for 33. Brian Pillman Jr., the best of the match, 34. The Varsity Blondes picked up the win in this one. Nice little pre-show preliminary feud between these two. Been going back and forth over the last few weeks on Dark, so good to see it happen in the ring on the pre-show. 33 is not too bad. Nyla Rose defeated Big Swole for 37. Nyla 38, Big Swole 28. No chemistry between these two in the end, so this will wrap up their feud. Nice way for Nyla just to pick up a win and kind of move on, but Big Swole's been a little bit disappointing, I'll have to admit. I haven't been too hot on her work as of late. Lance Archer and Jake Roberts are sending one final warning to Miro and Park. 62 rated for that segment. We had a 6-woman tag. Sheeta teamed up with Brandy and Velvet to take on Allie and Bad Reputation. Of course, Priscilla Kelly and Bea Priestley. We're actually going to start having Brandy and Red Velvet team up. I know they did a little bit of that before Brandy got pregnant, and that's kind of where they were going with those two. So I'm happy for them to be, you know, allies and kind of stick together for a while and see if that maybe helps out not only Red Velvet, but obviously Brandy, trying to kind of, you know, help her in-ring performances out. We know she's not a great in-ring performance, so teaming up with someone might help her out. It might be a way to kind of get her in the ring a little bit more. Sheeta was the best in the match by far, 51 from her. Brandy 43, Allie 36, and of course Priscilla and Bea Priestley were pretty good. I think this might be their final match before we do ultimately release them away. 44 was the overall match result, which is pretty good. And then we had the Dark Order backstage with Eric Redbeard, and Redbeard was kind of bragging, look, hey, I'm going to win tonight. I'm going to win the big battle royal tonight. No one's in that match that can match strength with me, match size, anything like that. Well, Brian Cage overheard it. He got himself a little bit heated about those comments, and they had a little bit of a confrontation with Eric Redbeard as the Dark Order tried to, you know, solve this situation. I don't think they were trying too hard, the Dark Order. I think they wouldn't have been too upset if Redbeard had got beaten down a little bit in this one. But nonetheless, 49 for this segment. Okay, we opened up the show with 76. Wow, Miro, Park, Lance Archer, triple threat. 76 rated Park is the brand new TNT champion, using a foreign object to help him pick up the win. Wow, I did not expect 76 out of this one. This is incredibly good from 3 guys who are kind of, you know, not floundering, but, you know, they could be doing a little bit better than what they are. Lance Archer, not so much. Archer's been pretty good, just needs a bit more popularity. But Miro and Park certainly have been underwhelming, but this is far better from them. Park, 75. That's why he gets the title. He's been very good in the ring. A little bit underwhelming, as I said, but he has the potential to step it up when he needs to. We just want to see that a little bit more. 75 on a consistent basis would be fantastic, but at the moment it's kind of 65, you know, so we can get more out of him. He will definitely gain popularity and definitely be a huge part of our roster going forward. Miro, 67, short but sweet, you know, a little run for him as TNT champion. He kind of let me down, you know, he had some okay moments, but ultimately he was not good enough. He could have been a lot better than what he has been, and I've been a little bit disappointed in him, so I felt as though it's time to move on from him as champion. You know, we'll still keep trying to utilize him and get him over, but not in the capacity I feel that we're originally planning on doing. Jericho, Guevara, and the rest of the Inner Circle are out there cutting a promo for the upcoming Young Bucks match tonight, and of course Jurassic Express and Proud and Powerful. So we'll cutting a promo for both of those feuds there. Chris Jericho invented a new catchphrase that will likely boost his mic ability, and now he has a go-to line. So not that he already didn't have one, now he can add that to the list, no pun intended. He's got a few catchphrases. So there you go, Chris Jericho doing Chris Jericho things again. 77 rated promo, not too bad, not one of his best though, but hopefully we'll get a bit of heat for both storylines. Now we had Jurassic Express against Proud and Powerful, and we had Jurassic Express pick up the win. 63 rated match. Luchasaurus was carrying an injury coming into this one, unfortunately, so it did hinder his performance a little bit. I've got to say, Jungle Boy was a little bit underwhelming, 50 rated, not usually his best, but Santana and Ortiz were good, 62 and 60. Overall, 63 rated match. Proud and Powerful, pretty inflated in terms of popularity. We haven't really pushed them that hard, but they've got plenty of popularity. Jurassic Express, they've been on a bit of a roll. They've been really doing well. They've been feuding with the Young Bucks and the Inner Circle, so I feel as though to keep that momentum going, we'll pick them up a win here, try and get them a little bit more popularity, and use some of that inflation from Proud and Powerful, give it to Jurassic Express, because I'm sure we can regain it pretty easily from Proud and Powerful, just from Chris Jericho's promos alone, so I'm not too worried about that. Whereas Jurassic Express, hey, we can get him to 50, 55 popularity plus, then we've got, you know, another elite level tag team in our division. And I think, you know, FTR could be a potential destination coming up next for Jurassic Express for us. So, you know, a win here will certainly get them ready for that. Jade Cargill makes her in-ring debut, not in terms of a match, but just her first appearance in the ring in AEW. She had an interview with Tony Schiavone, and I gotta say, it went pretty well. 47 rated promo as Jade Cargill kind of sent a bit of her own little bit of a warning to the rest of the women's division that, hey, look at me, I'm big, I'm strong, I'm tough, and I'm going to be here to take over this women's division. And she kind of cut a promo on all the top women right now in the division. So 47 from Jade, pretty good. We had a hype video for Cody versus Kenny, 85. Well, I did say, you know, if there's a match in this card that's going to deliver the goods, that's not a championship match, I feel like this is it. I feel like this could be the best match on the card. So we'll see it. It's got a good, you know, good storyline rating, 85 hype video. I've got high hopes for it. So Cody and Kenny, one-on-one. What will it be? 87 rated. That's got to be our best match of the series, right? I think so. Wow, 87 from Cody and Kenny. Cody Rhodes, 77. Kenny Omega, 83. 25-minute match. These two busting their butts and trying their hardest to get a good match, and they certainly delivered. Great matchup. Don Callis got himself involved eventually and allowed Kenny Omega to pick up the win over Cody Rhodes. So there you go. Big win there for Kenny Omega, continuing his momentum. Probably the title is maybe his next destination. Cody Rhodes doing the honors here in this one. It won't affect him, but this is not the last between Cody and Kenny. We're going to see this one in some capacity again very soon. But a big match from these two. Post-match, things get a little bit more interesting again. we had an 81 rated segment when Paul White made his debut. So, the new Elite, Anderson Gallows, Kenny Omega, and Don Callis as well, all attacking Cody Rhodes. Adam Page trying to get in there to help out Cody, but, you know, the numbers game was too much. Eventually, Paul White's music hit, and he saved Cody Rhodes and Adam Page. So, Cody Rhodes found some backup, and Paul White, that's some big backup indeed. So Paul White got his new gimmick rating of great. Of course, just a giant gimmick, so... But look, it went pretty well, so not a bad debut for Paul White. Here's the thing about Paul White, I really don't know what we're going to do with him in a long-term capacity, but I feel him just kind of being a third man in a storyline like this, or being just being the big guy to kind of make something a little bit different and interesting, I think just adds a new dynamic to a storyline like this. Him as a singles performer and kind of, getting a run at the championship, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't really want that to happen, but I can see him, in a tag team scenario, being that, second or third guy or fourth guy, as an attraction, as a spectacle. That's where I feel like you could use him quite well. And, this could now turn into a 3-on-3, and I feel like Paul White could benefit from being involved in this quite well. So, an 81 rated segment, and the debut of Paul White, done and dusted. MJF is shown driving his car to the location of his fight with Sting. So, quick little segment there, just kind of showing MJF on his way there. MJF talking some trash, trying to hype himself up, trying to get himself ready for this fight. I've got to say though, why is MJF driving his own car? Shouldn't he have a driver driving him there? MJF, maybe the budget's stretched a little bit limited lately. Alright, then we had a 20-man over-the-top battle royal. Brian Cage was the winner in this one. So it featured Billy Gunn, Brian Cage, Christopher Daniels, Colt Cabana, Dustin Rhodes, Eddie Kingston, Eric Redbeard. Ethan Page made his debut in this one. I figured I don't really have anything else for him to do, so chuck him in this and give him a bit of a highlight. Evil Uno, Frankie Zarin, Jake Hager, Joey Janela, Matt Sydal, Orange Cassidy, Will Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Scorpio Sky, Sean Spears, Trent, and even Wardlow. So Wardlow had a match, that's why he won't be involved in that street fight later on. He got scheduled for a match, so Sting being a little bit smart about that, making sure Wardlow can't get to the street fight in time because he's going to be too busy competing in this battle royal. So, Sting's a smart man. Nonetheless, Ethan Page debuting as a heel. He's got a cocky gimmick. Very good was the rating for him. And Brian Cage picked up the win. 58 rated match, which is a lot better than I expected. But no doubt, no brainer to give it to Brian Cage. Cage has got a lot of momentum behind him. And look, if we are going to give the winner of this one a TNT title match, Brian Cage is the perfect guy for it. And he definitely could be a TNT champion very soon. He's got all the tools. He's been in good form. So I wouldn't be against that at all. So, yep, so Ethan Page, good start for his career. Unfortunately, I don't think Ethan Page is going to achieve a lot in AEW for me, or even in real life, to be fair. But, another member on the card that probably will struggle in that 30 to 40 popularity range. That will try and get him through it, but I'd rather probably give that time to Ricky Starks or maybe even Will Hobbs that we've been investing in lately, rather than Ethan Page at this point. If his performance is warranted though, that could change. 58 for that match though. After that match, Paul White had an interview quickly with Alex Marvez. Paul White says he was hired by AEW to do commentary, but Cody Rhodes called in a favor. So Cody Rhodes said to Paul White, look, I'm going to have a bit of an issue with the Elite tonight. If things go down, something happens, will you be there to watch my back? Paul White agreed. Those two have got a bit of history between each other. They've had some matches in the past, mutual respect. So that's kind of where we went with this one. Paul White, he was already coming to AEW, he got tired, and he figured, look, hey, there's an opportunity for me here to be a part of this match, I'll do it. So 74 for that Paul White promo. Yeah, maybe not as strong as we perhaps would have thought from Paul White. I thought his promos would be a little bit better than that, but 74, that's okay. The Hardys versus FTR. Wow, this is a surprise. 77 rated. Wow, FTR defeated the Hardys. thanks to Tully Blanchard's involvement. 77, really? Jeff Hardy, 75. Matt Hardy, 65. Cash Wheeler, 71. Dax Harwood, 65. You know, I'm so glad that this got 77 because this is the type of match that deserves a really high rating. They don't have the popularity, I get that, but FTR and the Hardys would tear it up. And I know this would be a great one to watch. 77, I'm really, really happy with that. I'm so happy with that. FTR, we gave him the win. I know the Hardys, fresh new act back in AEW, or for the first time in AEW, back together again as a team. You kind of want to give them that big win, but, you know, at the same time, FTR, they're spoiling the party. You know, a legendary tag team killer, maybe. You know, they've been able to take down the Hardys. Not only that, we do have some extra plans for FTR post pay-per-view. So, and I don't think this is the last time we're going to see these two teams face each other either. So maybe, you know, that's why we had Tully get himself involved. Not a fair win in the end. So maybe we might do something extra between these two teams going forward. And hey, 77, if we can get that again, well, we should be doing more with that. Post-match, FTR put their boots to the face of the Hardys again, 68 for a beatdown. So there you go. So FTR weren't done yet, so a real big night for them, and kind of using the Hardys to really put over FTR in this one. So I think it's, you know, it's worth it. FTR, their popularity kind of sucks. If we can really elevate them into the mid-60s, they're a team that are going to hit some huge numbers. So they're worth investing in. The Hardys, yes, they're a fresh, you know, a new act for us again, but I think they can afford one loss and maybe get them back going again, beating some other teams after this one. Thunder Rosa took on Britt Baker for 51. Pretty good match. Thunder was the best in the match, 46. Britt Baker 43. We gave Britt Baker the win thanks to Awesome Kong attacking Thunder Rosa when the referee wasn't looking, distracted, helping her out. Britt Baker survives again. So yeah, actually quite a few interferences in this show actually. The heels are all cheating their way to victory, I suppose. But there you go. Britt Baker survives as champion. I figured I was very close to giving it to Thunder Rosa, but I figured, look, we've got this new pairing of Britt Baker and Awesome Kong. You know, I feel like there's more to explore there. And Thunder Rosa is good. I'm not sure if she's the real, you know, baby face that we want to kind of take down the really frustrating and annoying and cheating heel. I'm not sure if that's Thunder Rosa. I don't know who that is yet, but, you know, maybe we revisit it down the line. But at the moment, I still feel like there's more to do with Britt Baker, and I feel like she can continue to elevate the division with her promos and things like that. So there's a little bit more in the tank for Britt Baker just yet. Alright, hype video for Jon Moxley, Darby Allin. So it's not going to be the main event. It's a hardcore match. So how this is going to go, hopefully good. The hype for it has been fantastic with the storyline, the angles have been brilliant. Can Darby Allin execute in the ring? That's the big question. Jon Moxley, I'm sure he will, but can he carry Darby enough? I guess we'll find out. 80 rated. Wow. Jon Moxley defending his championship against Darby Allin. Moxley 86, Darby 59, 80 rated in this match. Hardcore match between these two, suits both of them. Moxley obviously 86, he's going to get a lot more out of a hardcore match than any other type of match. Brilliant, fantastic result. And look, we didn't have anyone for Jon Moxley. Darby Allin was just kind of floundering around. We've been saying for months, oh, we got to do something with him. We've got to use him more. Well, this is a great way to do it. And I just felt as though Moxley, yes, he's kind of working with someone a little bit down the card, but still he could deliver something special here. And I feel like he did it. 80 rated, fantastic. Now we can look to use Moxley in more of a higher profile situation, whether that's MJF, whether that's Kenny Omega, maybe someone else. Alright, so post-match. Wow, this one actually didn't quite get there. Christian Cage confronted Jon Moxley post-match, pointed at the world title, and let him know that he wanted it. 62 rated in the end, because nothing interesting was really happening in this segment. So we probably needed to tweak this segment a little bit to kind of get what we wanted out of it. But nonetheless, Christian Cage makes his debut and lets it be known that he is certainly thinking about that World Championship. So I feel like we are going to use Christian as a heel rather than a babyface. I just think him coming as a heel, being bitter that he lost his career nearly, that he was unwanted by the other company, and people aren't appreciative or haven't been clamoring for him to come back, or they don't want to see him back. There's so many avenues you can explore with that, but I feel like would be a really good move to kind of give Christian's character a bit of depth about it. So unfortunately, we didn't quite execute this angle as well as we would have liked, but I'm sure we'll pick up the pieces soon. Now that's to be said, I'm not going to actually do Christian and Moxley just yet. I feel like that's down the line. This is more of just a teaser for potentially what is to come in the next few months. Alright, here we go. Sting and MJF cinematic match, and it was called a street brawl. So, they're basically similar, I suppose, to the Sting match in real life that he had, like a warehouse, parking lot situation, just kind of fighting around a building, But in the end, MJF, we gave him the win. He beat Sting. He won in about 15 minutes because Sting could not continue. MJF beat him down so badly that the referee had to call it off. Sting, I can't believe this, 79 rated performance from Stinger. MJF 70, and the cinematic style approach paid off. The match came together well. So there you go. If you're going to use Sting, cinematic is the way to go, and it worked. I've never done a cinematic match before, so I didn't know what to expect from it and what type of performances we could get out of it, but that was fantastic. 78 for a Sting match in 2021. Hell yeah, that's awesome. So Sting loses here. That's the right move, right? You got to give MJF this win. He's been on such a roll, but Sting getting back out there, brawling around a bit is enough. He doesn't have to win in this situation, but MJF beating him down so badly he couldn't continue. That's going to be pretty big for his career. Post-match, Sting is shown being carried away from the fight in an ambulance. So there you go. Sting couldn't get up, had to be carted away, taken to hospital because MJF had beaten him down that badly. So a really big win for MJF, 70 rated for that segment as well. Alright, we're getting ready for the main event as the Young Bucks cut a promo, and this is actually far better than what Jericho has been doing lately. Young Bucks 85 rated promo as they said tonight they reclaim their title as the best tag team in the world. So very good promo from these two, fantastic. 85 from the Young Bucks, that's pretty good. So let's see it. Young Bucks promo, it was good. The storyline heat has been risen. It's time for the main event. Fingers crossed it delivers because we've had some good matches tonight. 82. Alright, so didn't quite beat Cody and Kenny, and we had a bit of a worry that that could be the case, but you cannot complain with 82. Let's take a look. So, Sammy Guevara 74. Jericho was off his game, but still 86 from him. Nick 83, Matt 82. You can't complain with that. That's pretty good all around. But in the end, Young Bucks defeat the Inner Circle, and they are the brand new tag team champions. We did have this match as a steal the show, so maybe that is why Jericho didn't quite live up to it. But nonetheless, a steal the show, 82 rated. Guevara was pretty good for his popularity. 74 is pretty excellent, so can't complain with that effort. But the Young Bucks win the tag titles for the first time in our series. So big win for them. Sammy Guevara took the pin to protect Jericho a little bit. But overall, 81 rated show, so that is far and away one of our best shows. 1,000 people watched it. We had some excellent matches, a lot of surprises in terms of match results. FTR Hardys, the triple threat, Cody and Kenny was awesome, and even Moxley and Darby was really good too. Sting's match, like all our major matches I felt as though delivered. I feel like the only downfall of the show was probably the Christian debut. It didn't quite go down as well as you would have liked, but everything else I'm really happy with. I feel like this is a fantastic show. So let's give some props. Kenny Omega, he was awesome. He very good. Cody Rhodes, he was awesome as well. And I'm gonna give Sting, give him a hug. Like, this dude just came back, pulled off a 78, I think it was. Yeah, he deserves it. Awesome stuff from all three of those guys. And overall, I'm really happy with that show. Alright, post pay-per-view, let's take a look. And straight away, Andrade. His contract is done. He has left the WWE, as of course to match what's happened in real life. So Andrade, there's not a lot of interest from myself in using him. I feel like he's got some great in-ring stats, and he probably would suit in a lot of ways in AEW. He would probably do quite well. And he's got 66 popularity, so that's quite high, a lot higher than I expected him to have. He started at 61, and the WWE got him up to 66, so he would be a main event player on our roster for sure. But the question, I guess, is what kind of capacity would we use him in? He certainly wouldn't be getting a world title out of me. I probably wouldn't give him the world belt, but could I have him as a low tier main event guy? A couple of feuds with Kenny and Park and Cody. There is some value there, so he's someone I'll have to think about. Maybe in the comments down below, should we bring in Andrade, now of course known as La Sombra, into our roster, into AEW? Something to think about. I think he might join AEW in real life, to be honest. WWE had their own show called WWE Unscripted. Alright, what's this about? So, it had 78 rated match. The main event was Bray Wyatt beating Lashley in a cage match for 76. Bobby Lashley 64, Bray Wyatt 79. There you go. I think John Cena was on the card. Yeah, he teamed up with Drew McIntyre to beat Aleister Black and Daniel Bryan for 89. And Baron Corbin kept the Universal Championship. He beat Goldberg, Rollins, and Reigns. So, let me get this right. In a match that has Goldberg, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin is the winner. To be fair, Baron Corbin performed at 80. He had a better rating than Goldberg. Not that hard to do, but Baron Corbin, 72 pop. You know, he's the world champion. I'm glad this isn't real life, because I would not want to suffer that myself, but, you know, TW loves Baron Corbin. There you go. Let's take a look at Revolution. We had, as I said, an 81 rated show, 1,000 people attended, 228,000 buys, which is pretty good. We had Fight TV, that was a new provider that we added for the first time. They had 82,000 buys, and In Demand 145,000. So, pretty good. That's honestly a good effort. 228,000 buys. Not sure if that's our best or not. We'll have to take a look, but that's certainly a very solid number for us. The Undertaker, he's now officially left the WWE as well, so he's a free agent. I'd say it won't be long until TW retires him, so we'll see how long that takes. He's 55, so probably, you know, look, we could do Sting and Taker in a cinematic match. It might work. There you go. So overall, it's a really positive result, pay-per-view wise. And we are, of course, in the start of a brand new month as well, so we've got plenty to look at. So let's take a look at the financials quickly and see, you know, how are we doing in that regard. So last month we lost 393,000, so it was our best month in terms of finance. We lost the least amount of money, which is sad to say, but yeah, that is true. Pay-per-view wise, we grossed the most amount of revenue that we've done to date, 306,000, so that's a real win for us as well. That's a real positive. So we are heading in the right direction. Merchandise is up, sponsorship money is up, and our worker cost is slightly up as well, so that's not so great. But the show cost has dropped down, so there is a little bit more money coming our way, which is obviously fantastic. We need it. We definitely need it badly, so, you know, we can keep that going. There's a chance that we might survive and we won't go under. But yeah, popularity changes. Let's take a look. All right, first up, Chris Jericho, 82 popularity now, dropping down from 86. That is a big, big drop. Oh. I hope it's worth it, and I think it is worth it. You know, he's been gaining plenty of popularity. I'm sure he'll get it back, but, you know, look, you got to invest in young talent. That's fair enough. Cody Rhodes at 69, Moxley 78, 77, Kenny up to 71, Matt Jackson 62 in the Southeast. Ooh, that's not a great gain at all, is it? Nick Jackson 63, so compared to last month, that's a 1 popularity gain, and Jericho lost all that. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good. MJF, though, he's now up to 66 in Southeast, 67, 68 in some of the other areas. So, again, beat Sting and not much of a gain at all. So that's quite concerning. We'll have a look at Sting's popularity later. Brian Cage now at 56. That's good. Cash Wheeler 62. So that's a good gain. That is a good gain. He was at 59, so that's a 3 gain. Jeff Hardy, yeah, he did drop. Jeff Hardy dropped from, I think he might have been touching 70, dropped down to 68. So that's not the end of the world. That's okay. We can work with that. But Cash and Dax now 62 each. That is very important for our roster long term. Lance Archer is still good. Miro's dropped down to 62, and Park has got to 62. So Park's gone up 3 points. Miro, I think, was 63. So that's not a... Yeah, 62, 63 for Miro. That's not a big loss at all. But Park's actually gained a lot from that win. So that's a good result for us there. And Sammy Guevara now, 55 popularity. Down the card, Matt Hardy still has 55, so no real loss there. Darby Allin, we wanted to get him to 50 after this feud. Well, he got to 48, so he's close. But not quite getting where we wanted him. Jungle Boy now has 50. He was at 48, so a 2 gain from him. Luchasaurus has 50 as well. So he still has an injury, Luchasaurus, but good to see him getting a bit of popularity. And of course, it does come at the expense of Santana and Ortiz, who are still hovering around the 50 mark. Santana not as much, but close to it in the end. Down the card, Britt Baker now has 37, so she's actually gaining popularity. Hallelujah. We needed that badly. Elsewhere, not too much else to really speak of. We'll have a look at Ricky Starks, 37 now for Ricky Starks, so he's very close to being a factor. Thunder Rosa, she had a match. She's now at 35 pop, so still pretty good. Nothing too concerning just yet. And that's pretty much it for our popularity changes. So lots of drops, not a lot of gains. So I wouldn't say that's a big win for us. I feel like a little bit concerning, a little bit disappointing in the end in terms of that. We will have a quick look at some other people. So Paul White, he's at 70 popularity, which I think is where he started at, so nothing there after his first appearance. Christian starts at 65, no change from him, no surprise. He had a pretty lousy segment, unfortunately. And Sting, well, big drop from Sting. Sting's now down to 75. He was at 79. So we tried to invest in MJF. I don't think it really paid off that much. You know, if anything, not really at all in the Southeast. He gained in other areas, just not in the Southeast. So hopefully he's not far away from gaining more there. But yeah, so for MJF, I think the big thing for him is what happened in real life. The Pinnacle, I feel like, is a really good idea. I like the concept of the Pinnacle. I like the members involved. So we're going to go ahead and replicate that. I always said MJF should be the leader of his own group. That's why I never put him in the inner circle. I just didn't, you know, at the time, I suppose he was still feuding with Sting. It wasn't really the time. For us, the timing's kind of perfect. MJF fronting up his own new group. He's got, you know, FTR coming off a massive win. Wardlow's still got momentum. The only one there is Shawn Spears. And we've been trying to do something with Shawn Spears for a long time. Maybe having some other guys carry him through promos and things like that is the key. And if we can get Shawn Spears to 40, 45 pop, maybe he might be okay. So at least there's someone in the group that can take a pin, and that's always good to have because, you know, the other guys are certainly not going to do that. So I like the Pinnacle. We're going to do it on our save, and we'll start them off next. But yeah, at the moment, probably the next direction I feel is probably Kenny's group versus Cody's group. I think Blood and Guts could be a good option there. Go all out and do a big matchup there. I don't think we'll wait until a Double or Nothing. That's pretty far away. We probably will do some sort of special event, maybe even a pay-per-view for March. So, you know, we might do that. End of March, maybe we'll build up to a big match there, because Double Nothing's in May. So, you know, we could do something in March, then maybe leave April, and then focus on all the build towards Double or Nothing. So, you know, Moxley, who's he going to face? Maybe it has to be Christian, because I don't know who else. You know, MJF could be, we could circle back to that one. And I suppose when you think about it, if we think in storyline wise, now that Sting is injured and he's unavailable to kind of be here on Dynamite and stop, and overrule it, maybe MJF has taken Sting out of the picture and maybe he will get his title match after all. So that's what he had to do to get it. So, storyline wise, that would certainly make a lot of sense. Nonetheless, there's so much to unpack and talk about, but we'll leave it here for now. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next time for the first show of March. Plenty of new stuff to come, plenty of new storylines to dive into. Looking forward to it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.